Number 11, Joe has a rectangular patio that measures 10 by 12 feet. He wants to increase the area by 50%. The area of this rectangular patio is 10 times 12, it's 120. If he wants to increase it by 50%, that means you have to do 50% of 120, and that is 60. So he wants to increase it, we have to do 120 plus 60. So the new area has to be 180. The only two choices where the new area is 180 is number 2. Or excuse me, number 2 and 3. He plans to increase each dimension 10 and 12 by the same amount, so it looks like in this case 10 and 12 are the two that are being increased by the same amount. If I want to factor this completely, what I need to look to do first is to pull out an x, factor out an x. That's my GCF. Anytime you see this phrase factor completely, you want to factor more than one time, more than once. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is say x minus 15 and x plus 2. In this case, they are just written backwards. That's choice number 3. I can multiply those backwards because of the commutative property of multiplication. In this case, we're talking about stamp price changes. The greatest average rate, we're talking about rate of change, so we're talking about slope. So when you're doing slope, you're doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for example, choice number 1, notice how it went up 5 cents. That was the change in y divided by the change in x. So that was a difference of 73 years. Choice number 2, 1971 to 85, it looks like it went up 8 cents for every 14 years. Okay, choice number 3, it went up, let's see, 85 to 2006, it went up 10 cents for 21 years. And number 4, from 2006 to 2012, it went up 11 cents for 6 years. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to divide all of these fractions and get a numerical answer. Okay, these are all decimals, and then if you notice, well, actually all of these are decimals, but if you notice, all of these are less than 1, and number 4 is 1.833 repeating. This comes out to 1.83. This is basically 1.83 cents every year. This is the highest average rate of change. When using completing the square to solve an equation, our first step we have to do is add 7 to the other side. We have to isolate our constant to the other side. I want to take half of this and I want to square it. So half of 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. But now I have to add it to the other side as well. This factors to x minus 4 and x minus 4. This is 23. I can neaten this up and call this that. Which of these is the following step in the equation? Choice number 2. In this number 15, they're basically asking you, a construction company uses some function. It doesn't matter what it is. P is the number of people working on a project. They want to know what's a reasonable domain to account for the number of people. Okay, number of people can't be fractions, it can't be square roots, it can't be radicals, it can't be cube roots. Okay, so real numbers are basically numbers that are any number. Pi is a real number. Any number that's not imaginary is real. So in this case, integers would be something like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So if we're talking about number of people, we're only talking about the positive integers, numbers of people. Can't have a negative amount of people.